everyone. I'm cold. Cold like a gangster, like a G, like M.O.P. I walk up to suckers in the street, fucking smoke them right there. Bam! Like what? The fuck? What? Whatevs? Well, fuck me. What you gonna do? Fucking what? Because I'm a fucking gangster. I'm cold. Fucking cold blood. You don't even know, son. I'm fucking cold. Fucking take you out, son. Blah, blah, blah. Because I'm cold. But I'm also chilly. Brrr. I'm very, very chilly. In fact, I used to do that with my action figures. I used to put my wrestling toys as Steve Cold Stone Austin, and I put him in the fridge. When I lived at home, and I made a little like a paper speech bubble, and in the speech bubble it said "brr," and I put him in the fridge like he was going brr. And my mum opened the fridge and she laughed and laughed, and I said, "Shut up, bitch! Shut up! Don't you fucking laugh at my jokes. They're my jokes, not yours. You can't fucking get." Anyway, that's because I'm cold, cold as ice. Willing to sacrifice, eating a sack of lice while bashing my sack with mice. Today, oh, that was fun, wasn't it? Today, this is what's up today. We're drawing a smiley face. That's it. That's what we're doing. Right. So I'm cold. Right. Basically, what? So the thing. What it is. Right. Hello. Hi, hello everyone. Alright, so here's right. So basically, I just got back from Sam's house today. I was at Sam's for almost 2 weeks. That's the news of the day. I've been at Sam's house for a couple of weeks. I'm no longer at Sam's house for a couple of weeks. I'm back. So what I did was, which I usually do, is when I go away for an extended period of time, I'll open all my windows up so that when I come home, there's like a nice freshness in my home. Because, you know, I'm a filthy little fucking rat man. So my home tends to get a little bit stagnant, a bit stale, stinks of rats, blood and vomit and piss and shit and cum. That you squeeze from a rat. If you squeeze a rat hard enough, you get all of those bodily fluids at once. If you get a rat and you can't just like squeeze it, you have to like go sudden squeeze with as much tension as you can. Just go, and the rat will explode with all of those vital fluids at once. Plasma, intestinal fluids, fucking spinal juice, brain matter, eye gunge, snot, bogies, bunch of fucking rat body piss, sweat. Oh, that's another one. And that's what my home smells like. Because that's all I do. I catch the rats and I go, "Hey, buddy!" Oh, I tickle its tummy and it goes tee, and I like a "Pah!" And then they're dead. Because I'm the only rat here. Have you seen Jet Li's The One? The film The One with Jet Li. It's like that with me, but it's rats instead of other Jet Lis. Because I'm the one true rat king. But of course, it's the dead of winter, isn't it? So if I open up all my windows and I'm away for about 2 weeks, my home is cold to the touch. Everything in it's fucking frozen. Like Frozen 2, the film featuring Snowman and sisters, I think. I never saw any of the Frozen films. So I'm cold. That's the story. That's the story in Balamory. I'm fucking frozen, you son of a bitch. What? Let's give him a cigarette. Should we give him a cigarette? I'm going to give him a cigarette. It seems quite specific that you'd give him a cigarette, Ewan. Funny you should say. Because I might start smoking. I've thought about that. I've so often thought that, like, when I'm sat drawing, I should have a cigarette, like here. I should be drawing like this. Like a cigarette. If this is a cigarette. Like a cigarette in my hand. I should be drawing. And then go... Maybe it would mask the smell of all of the rat turds. I need a light box. Let's get a light box. Where's my light box? My pad. Oh, I hope you've all had a wonderful holidays, etc. New Year's. There was a Christmas one. I hope they've been good to and or for you. I've had one. It was actually really good with Sam and his family. And now I'm back. And I'm drawing a face. And I probably put the thumbnail showing what I've done, so you already know what I'm going to do. And me doing it doesn't matter. Or me showing that I'm doing it doesn't matter. You get it. We need to darken these lines up. Homey, home slice, hoe slice. You should always slice your hose properly. I have many things to say. Well, not many, but a bunch of stuff from Sam's that could lead to content. That's what it's all about. That's the only reason I go to his house anymore, just so I can get content for my video podcast featurette thing. That's the only reason, that's the only value Sam has to me as someone with which to make, or not even with, but as someone to use for my own personal gain for making content. Let's try and get this circle half and half so it's some kind of fucking even, yeah. So the other eye would be here. This is how you make a smiley face in the right place. Even and shit. I'm doing this all wrong. Incredibly wrong. You wouldn't believe how wrong I can do things. But I genuinely do have a bunch of stuff. Me and Sam have plans. We've made plans. We're getting married. Oh my god, can you believe? We're not really getting married. We could if we wanted to. I don't think Sam would be into it. Also, I think marriage is a sham, so I wouldn't be into it either. Well, no, we do. We genuinely have plans, do Sam and I. We're working on something together. We're going to work on. We're in the midst. By the time this goes out, we might be on the first step or so of working on something together. So that's exciting, huh? Oh, fucking shut up! I hate myself sometimes. Sometimes, but sometimes I don't do. I think the eyes should be closer together. I think they should be closer together. They might be all right. They might be all right. It might be okay. Everything might be okay. Let's, yeah, so we're working on something together. Also, give me a minute. Give me a. I'm getting there. I feel a bit rusty. I basically took 2 weeks off to play at Sam's house, and so now I'm getting back into it. And I'm not. Well, it's not that I'm not sure what I'm doing. I just feel a bit. I should have used another circular device for the eyes, shouldn't I? I feel like these should be close together. But then when it's got the it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's do a border around this guy. I could have done this in a different way. I don't know. It's fine. How are you? And how was your holiday days? I hope it was all. I've said that already. Didn't I? Fucking shut up. Fucking shut up. Mine was good. I ate a lot. That's what holidays are for, isn't it? It's for eating a lot. I would have. Yeah, I absolutely would put in the thumbnail for this what I'm doing, so all of this is no surprise. But you look at what we're doing and do it with me. Let's all make the thing that's in the thumbnail. I won't say it yet, just in case I do decide to hide it in plain sight, as well I might. Does that look enough like what I want it to look like? It should be a bit longer. And maybe a bit. like that, and then like that. And then this one, it's all about layers. Me and Sam, did I tell you, me and Sam are planning on working on something together. That I really don't want to give anything away of that. You'll see in the coming amount of time. It's quite an exciting thing that Sam and I are working on. Me and Sam, Sam and I, Sam I am, eggs and ham. Sorry, I am genuinely. I spent 2 weeks not recording a podcast, so I'm a bit rusty on as if it was ever good. I mean, come on now. This needs to be neat and tidy. God damn it, Ewan. You fart face man. These are the lines we are using for this. Does that look right? And then about there. Okay. Because I need so we're gonna have this needs it'll all make sense, don't worry. It'll all make sense. Don't you worry. This is fun, isn't it? Ugh, Jesus Christ. Cool, that's right, that's part one of how many parts to this? 1, 2. This is part 1 and 2. Fucking Jesus. Hi everyone, I'm cold. I just got back from Sam's house. Open windows. Sludge life. I'm drawing this. Siggy the Siggy Sigs. It's the Siggy Sigs logo from Sludge Life. I want to make a t-shirt. Right, so I just got back from Sam's house. As you may be aware, I don't have gameplay facilities in the same way that Sam has. So the game Sludge Life, I can't play. I don't have the necessary capabilities that allow me to play Sludge Life at my home. So when I go to Sam's, I spend the entire time playing Sludge Life, and Sam can fuck off, do whatever the fuck he wants, talk in his furry chat rooms, the big furry fur man that he is and am, Mr. Sam. So I play Sludge Life a lot. I think it was almost exactly a year ago at New Year's I was at his house, and when I played Sludge Life for the first time, and I became very quickly obsessed with it. I might have mentioned Sludge Life in some recent podcasts. You might have heard about it. After playing that, I came home, I did a bunch of stuff. I printed these off. These were available on the website, and then I printed them off and made them actual zines because I became obsessed, because I'm an obsessive weirdo. And I wanted to make a Siggy Sig hoodie, but I couldn't find the exact grey hoodies. Normally you can find grey hoodies fucking everywhere. I couldn't find a grey hoodie anywhere, so I just didn't end up making one. But for now, I want to at the very least, make a Siggy Sigs shirt, and this is why I might start smoking, so I can wear a Siggy Sig shirt with a Siggy Sig in my mouth and be cool, like all the cool kids at school used to do. I was never one of them. I was too busy playing with my wrestling toys, putting them in the fridge, in their little pants, with little speech bubbles that say brrr. So we're making a Siggy Sig shirt, and we're gonna. So this is how we do it. These are stencils. These are going to be stencils, and we're going to spray paint them onto a shirt, and we're going to. So I'm going to cut these out. If I'm going to be playing with knives, though, since I'm going to be playing with knives, it only seems appropriate that I have myself a little drink. Of course. Get the sharp knives out. Fuel them with alcohol. Sam bought me this. He bought me a bunch of gifts, some of which I will show because they're quite cool. At least one of them is cool. He got me one cool gift, and a bunch of shit. But he also got me this because I drink whiskey sometimes. I guess that's something I do. I don't know. But he was in a shop getting some shit, and he got me this very nice little gift. A teeny tiny. He's heard, and I happen to have heard also, that Macallan Scotch whiskey is very good whiskey. Apparently it's good whiskey in a little glass bottle, not plastic or anything. That's a genuine little, nice little. It doesn't make a noise. Glass bottle of Macallan. So I'm gonna have a little Macallan for in my podcast. That's what I mean when Sam's good for content. He gets me some shit, and I'm like, oh cool, that could be content for a video. He spends time and effort and money. Oh, you've got a tiny little cork. Ah. Oh, it smells like whiskey, Scotch whiskey. That's a shot's worth, isn't it? Probably. It's funny. No, I did never grow up. I'm still a child. That's why I live alone, because I can't keep adult relationships going, because I'm not one. That's really good. That's strong. That's actually tasty. Not like super. It's tasty in the way that whiskey's tasty, which is tastes like shit. But as far as whiskey goes, it's not. I couldn't get any of that Welsh whiskey that I normally get when I go to Sam's, which is sad. I just couldn't afford it. Sam could have bought me some, but you know, he bought me a little bottle of Macallan. That's really nice. He bought me a drink. He literally, it's like going to a bar. Here, I bought you a drink. One drink's amount of Macallan Scotch whiskey. Wasn't that nice of Sam to do that? How very lovely. And it is good. It is good, because I've had some whiskey and it's like, fucking. That's pretty good. That's. Oh, it is strong though. Oh, let me chase that with some Pepsi. Again, like an adult. Right, let's knives the knife. Knife in the knives. That's what we're doing. We're making a t-shirt. That's today. Nothing too strenuous. Because I'm tired. Oh, let me tell you about the journey I had. Right, so it's the trains. So Sam, sometimes he picks me up, but it's a long drive, so sometimes I try to meet him halfway. Again, as far as I can afford to buy train tickets to. Sam drove me halfway. He drove me to the train station for when I was leaving, and the trains were just fucked. Just cancellations and late trains and delays and waiting and having to stand for the entire time. A 2-hour journey took just over 4 hours. It was fucking ridiculous. A 2-hour journey that took 4 hours. Then it's not a 2-hour journey, Ewan, is it? It was supposed to be a 2-hour journey. It ended up taking more than 4 hours. Which was a ball ache, let me tell you. Oh, fuck's sake. I'm still... All this Christmas and New Year's excitement, I still haven't got myself a new knife. Maybe I'll treat myself to a nice sharp knife sometime soon. I probably won't. I'll keep using the same dull blade for years to come. You just wait and see. That's part one of the stencil. It doesn't need to be too neat because it's going to have an outline. Obviously, that's the red body of Mr. Siggy Siggs. That's the red body. See, and I've cut out a little. See where the cigarette is going to be. I've cut that out. So then this is going to be a 2-part stencil, or what? 1, 2, 3. A 3-part stencil. These are going to. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's a whiskey burp. Oh, wow. Oh, I feel sick. No, I don't. I'm a man. I don't feel sick from whiskey. Whiskey's good because I'm a man. I drink whiskey and I like tits and cars and football. I follow a sports team because sports are cool. I don't need to cut that bit out, do I? I need to cut here. Silly goose. Which is all to say, I'm tired because the journey back home from Sam's was an absolute ache in my tiny little balls. My rat testicles, my tiny little rat testicles. I'm tired and I'm cold. But do you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to just sit down. I've had some noodles, I ate some noodles. You know, I got squeezed the poison out. Got the poison out, which just means I jerked off a bunch. And now I just want to sit down. It's paper, quick, just nothing too strenuous. Let's just make a fucking t-shirt. And then I got a fucking t-shirt. Of course we're not making a t-shirt, are we? We're putting a painted design onto a t-shirt. I can't sew. Not like the Chinese kids that produce the clothing for Shein and whatever else. You know, slave labour and sweatshops. Yay! Yay! Late stage capitalism. Yay! Oh, it's the best. Oh, I can buy a new iPhone all the time. Meanwhile, children on the other side of the planet suffer. They suffer and bleed so that I can have cheap clothes and phones. Not really that cheap in terms of phones. And ever-growing costs regularly. So, you know, that's not... I'm doing this completely wrong, I think. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay, I thought I was doing this wrong, but right. So there's... If you were going to stencil this on a wall, you'd want all the black lines to be in one piece. So you'd need to, like, leave gaps so that they all sort of remain within the page. But since this is being put onto a shirt, we can cut it into separate pieces, move them around. I thought I'd fucked it up for a moment. My graffiti days, you see. I'm trying to remember how I used to cut stencils in my graph days. I did a bit of stencil painting, not a lot, because you know, if you paint one stencil, everyone goes, "Oh, it's like Banksy." But of course, if you paint anything with spray cans, even if it's not stencil related remotely, people go, "Oh, it's like Banksy." I get it. No, clearly, you don't get it. Because Banksy is a shit princess. He's a princess of shit. He doesn't wear glass slippers. He wears slippers made out of shit. Oh, but he's so clever and funny and talented. Is our Banksy. Oh, shit. I think I threw away a bit I need to not throw away. Fuck. I did fuck it up a bit. I think I threw it in a bit. God damn it, I did. Ugh. I need to keep this bit. Yeah, I need to keep this bit, and then when I do the black, I need to put that on the... and then... yeah, right, so I need to keep that bit. Jesus Christ. I told you I'm cold and tired. Leave me alone. This isn't going to go perfectly. Or even well. It might look shit. I might ruin a t-shirt. Hey, hang out and watch me ruin a perfectly good t-shirt that a child slave made somewhere in the world. This, I love this so much. You've probably already seen it. Maybe you haven't. You might have already seen this. I did this probably almost exactly a year ago now, after I played Sludge Life for the first time, because I loved it so fucking much. And it's quite a cool thing about Sludge Life, that it has inklings of like typical traditional graffiti culture within the little silly little cartoon game that it is. Because what you would do as a graffiti writer back in what they call the day, is you would steal or buy or find a cheap photo album. Maybe steal your mum's, take all her shitty wedding photos out and throw them away. They're divorced now anyway, it's fine. To keep in your graffiti photos, because way before the internet, before graffiti magazines or books or anything were a thing, graffiti got spread around the world, cities and the world, by people taking photographs of the graffiti, their own graffiti and other people's graffiti, and sharing it with other writers, local writers, writers from other cities, and then writers from other countries would fly in to hang out and paint graffiti in different countries. They'd meet up with the local writers, they'd share photos, sketches, stories with each other, and then they'd take those photos, sketches and stories back to their home countries, and they'd share them around with their people, and vice versa. The locals would share the stories and photos and sketches of graffiti from the foreign people, and it would all get shared around the world just from photos. So graffiti writers' photo albums were very, very important back in the day. Of course, now you just put some shit on Instagram, and if it's fun or funny or Banksy, you might go viral and be famous overnight. Wouldn't that be magic? Or you could just go and be a fucking gimp online for money, I guess, if that's what you're into. Sludge Life has an element of that in the game. You paint graffiti and you get a camera and you can take photos of the graffiti and other things. People, fucking cats licking themselves, poos that are in toilet, you'll see. So I took a bunch of photos in the game while playing Sludge Life just because it was fun. And then Sam, while I was playing, said, I could probably send you these photos. Because being the technical wizard that he is, he knew that the photos taken in the game that are saved, that you can look through, are available in a file somewhere on his computer somehow, and he can access them and put them in a zip file and send them to me, so I can have access to the photos I took in, like taking a screenshot of a screen, but then and have it. And then what I thought would be cool, because some of them are graffiti, some of them not, was that if I printed those photos off, put them in a photo album, and then it sort of makes like my own. It's like an art book of Sludge Life, which doesn't exist. Kind of doesn't. Those zines exist, which I showed. But this is it's my Sludge Life photo album. Again, if you're a regular, you've seen it before, shut up. So I have been playing Sludge Life. I did play Sludge Life while I was at Sam's just recently, these last couple of weeks. I did take some new photos. I might print them off if I can afford it. But I might not. We'll see. I like these ones though. So you graffiti up all the place. Ghost, that's you. Your sketches, and those are the little things they have in the game that are really like just touches of what feels like familiar graffiti paraphernalia and culture. Sketches of pieces that you will paint up places. Cans of drink, cans of paint, a boombox playing your music. The game is set in the 90s, so it's like having the boombox and the sketches and stuff. It fits. And then this was on a rooftop in the game, so it's like reminiscent of like New York rooftops, where you just have writer after writer after writer after writer putting their name up on the wall, like all of these. And other spots and people painting their characters and shit on billboards. And then you've got your little ghost characters, because your name's Ghost, and so you draw little ghost characters and then you paint the little ghost characters. Isn't that fun and cool? Siggy, that's the thing, isn't it? That's what we're doing here. See, there's this big statue outside like the corporate office of the big company that owns everything, and his head fell off and crushed the guy in the Siggy mascot costume, and his eyes popped out. Oh my god. So you go and tag up the head while it's on this dead person, and there is a news camera filming, so that's very smart to do. Siggy Sigs using the rapper Big Mud to help sell cigarettes to children. Siggy Sigs are for kids. Yay! Now with vitamins. Or vitamins if you're in a wrong country. And so I just took a bunch of photos of a bunch of stuff. There's several like things. Like there's a bunch of different places in the game. Sludge Life 1 and 2 and the demo. So there's also a fart button in Sludge Life, so you can just go, which is also fun. Of these boards, like whiteboards in offices with like notes and corporate things written on them. This one's in the police station. They have clops instead of cops, so they're all cyclopses, and they're not the cops, they're the clops. It's quite clever, isn't it? Look, there's a cyclops beating a tagger's head in, and it says Klops in a heart. That's brilliant. So I took photos of like those different whiteboards and the cat with 2 anuses, but I forgot to print off a photo of that. I'll have to do that at least, won't I? The cat with 2 buttholes. See, because there's this transporter you can get that teleports you from one place to another, and when they were developing it, a cat got in and it developed a second butthole from being in the warp system somehow, and that's I know you see Big Mud with it later on in Sludge Life 2. He's got the cat with 2 buttholes. It's kind of fun. There's a cat's anus right there. Oh, there's a cat licking itself. There's a shaved, not shaved, but like a bald Sphinx cat. Cats with cigarettes. That's cool. The chillest cats with cigarettes. See, and because this is what people would do, what graffiti writers would do. They take all these photos of like graffiti and stuff, and then write little like notes on tape and stuff saying "Big up, Big Mud." Whatever, chill cats with cigarettes. Toilet humour. You're painting in the toilet. There's a big poo he's painted on there with a face. Oh, it's like the emoji, but green. Look, poos. There's a big poo on the toilet there. There's a guy on the toilet. And then outside one of the toilet areas, there's a guy who looks really depressed, and he's like, "Oh, I did the saddest poop I ever did. It's the big brown frown." And then you go in and look at it, and there's a big brown frown in the toilet with flies buzzing around it. Just some of the brilliant humour in the game. Oh, it's so good. There's a dog hanging out with a spray can, and there's a bone painted on the wall. Did the dog paint the bone? I don't know. And then you paint a dog's head next to it, and it's like a collaboration between you and a dog. That's quite fucking cool, isn't it? Other graffiti. This is Uzi. He's a little goblin. He writes Uzi, and he paints these Uzi guns, and then that's your little like collaborative piece that you paint together in the game. Look, goblin with spray cans. I love it. It's brilliant. And he gets arrested in the second game, so you've got to free him. You've got to free Uzi out of jail. This is another thing in different offices over the game. There's like little clipboards with little drawings on, and I really like them, so I took some photos of them. There's a little cigarette running around. Oh, Mosca is a fly man, and he paints graffiti, and that's your collaborative pieces that you paint together. Double. I'm not sure if it's double or double, because when they write their name, it's like twice, but it's just, I don't think it's just said once. That's the whole thing. There's a lost snake, and then you find the lost snake. Buns is another writer. He's in the demo. That's a really cool collaborative piece. So you go into the room where you find Buns, the writer, and this rabbit's always this rabbit character of his is already painted on the wall with a cigarette. So then you come in and you paint your ghost character like it's the smoke from the cigarette, and it makes a cool collaborative art piece on the wall. I really fucking like that. I also love in the game texture. I always fucking go on about texture in comics and stuff because it's so important to like give life to any environment you're creating. And the texture in Sludge Life, sometimes there's a lack of texture, like in walls and stuff where they're just grey blocks, but it works with the game and with the game style. But on the floors, there's like, you know, trash bags and boxes and piles of concrete and like just broken shit and a shovel there, spray cans and cigarette butts everywhere. Little drawings that people do, there's toilet rolls, cigarette butts, cans and things. On the tables as well, ashtrays of cigarettes and cups and stuff. And it's all just these little dirty little texture bits that really do give Sludge Life its life, and I really do appreciate that. Just some random. Look, he looks like someone I know. Doesn't he look like? Oh, what if I had glasses? Would I look like that chef in the game? Oh, some other writers in their graffiti. There's these funny bird people with little pigeon heads, and they go, yeah, that's a guy making out with a bird, which is, you know, fun. I do that with rats, but I tongue their anuses and not their mouths. There's a room where there's dick drawing classes happening, so it's like life drawing, and he's just drawing penises, and that's the guy's penis. I crouched down and then zoomed in to get a photo up his pee hole, because I'm sad and alone. That's King Eyes. He's like the king writer, the best that ever did it, and then he disappears at the end. but you get his eyes because he tore his eyes out. Oh, I won't spoil it. Slug, she's cool. There's a giant baby in a room. There's a little pigeon and a bird, and the bird's just fucking going beep, 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 beep. But then you give it a cigarette and it chills out and calms down. And there's a little baby pigeon with a cigarette. Oh, isn't that cool? And then there's this guy at the end of it all. Ooh. So yeah, safe to say, I really do like Sludge Life. I think it's really good. Here's a shirt. That would probably fuck up the white balance, wouldn't it? This is literally just pulled out of my my bag after getting home from seeing Sam. It's almost clean, but then literally everything I own, even if it gets cleaned, is at best almost clean. So then what we need to do, we need a bit of card. Have I got a... I put it aside specifically. Just some shitty back of a sketch pad. Some card. Put that in between the layers. This is a how-to video now. It's a shirt print painting tutorial video. Oh, excuse me. I finished off that whiskey. So you put some card between the layers so that when you paint on the shirt, if it bleeds through onto the card and not onto the back of the shirt. Yeah, that's the smart way. Smart people smartly do it. I'm going to try to get it vaguely centered. I mean, that looks kind of centered. And a rule of thumb I use, I don't know how accurate it is, but in general, the best place for a design to be is 4 fingers below the neckline. So... about there. Make sure I do it. Oh, put a bit of tape there. So 4 fingers below the neckline is sort of an average good. Because if any more than that and it looks too high up, and any lower and it looks too close towards the tummy. So that, if that's the top of it there, then yeah, that should be all right. That should be a good place to fucking paint the stencil. Right, so stencil numero 1. There's the masking tape. So if we put that there, that should be lined up. It might not be, but if I fuck it up, it's one fucked up t-shirt. It's not the end. Oh, that's actually way close to one side. Oh. Normally I wouldn't do this at my desk. I could move my camera, but you know. See if I can stretch this out. Try to get it vaguely centered. Also, it's really good to use t-shirts that are crinkled, because then your stencil will be... it will have texture. Your stencil will have texture to it, and that's what's important, because it's the texture that gives it that life that it needs to be alive and in need. How far that looks way... it looks like it should be there, maybe? About there? I mean, if I fuck it up, I fuck it up. It's not the end of days, is it? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Hang on a second. Right. So what I've done is I took this and I laid it out on my bed, all nice and neatly, so I could gauge pretty much where the centre is. So I should have it more or less central. I put a little bit of glue on the underside around the rim and on this bit, just to hold them to the shirt just a little bit, so that when I spray it, it doesn't like lift up and have the spray go off to the side. Taped it down just to hold it in place a little bit better. Some scrap pieces of paper to the sides so that I don't spray here. You know, I might get a little bit, but you know, it doesn't need to be fat and perfect. Does it? It just needs to be sort of all right. And then do a little test spray. Definitely sounds like my cap's blocked, but whatevs. Yeah, you can hear the cap being shit. But that's okay, because it's all very good and it's all okay. That was pretty fucking red, doesn't it? Little around the edge. You don't want to soak it in, but you know, you want it to be sort of red enough. And I guess now we'll see if that's worked. This is always the oh yeah, I got a little bit on the side there. You see that little bit there? But that's alright. That's alright, because it's all very good. And it's all right. And it's all okay. This is always a little bit dodgy. Oh shit, I glued it too tight and now it's too tight? Too much and now it's stuck to the... Whoa! Look at that, it looks like a Japanese flag, doesn't it? Why have you made a Japanese flag t-shirt? That's weird. Maybe you're weird, you cock. And now, at the very least, the next design will be lined up via this design. So that's going to be cool. I'll let that dry a little bit. Spray paint dries quickly, but it's on fabric, so it might need to like soak in and dry up a bit because it's a bit wet, just like your mother's vagina. So I'll put that there for now. Now, so this is right. What I wanted to do now is a little bit. I don't know if you'll find it interesting, but I thought it was interesting. So I'm gonna so these are the zines. Now I'm not gonna look through these. I'm just putting these here so there's some kind of visual element. Let's put the Siggy Sigs because that's the thing, isn't it? And then let's find something cool to look at here. I'm gonna read something to you. So that's Big Mud and a whole bunch of shit. All right, so there's your visuals. Excuse me for this bit. It's only paper. Don't worry about it. So I was while I was at Sam's, I was looking up something about Sludge Life, like the location of a thing in the game. And as I was googling, I saw I came across a review of Sludge Life 2, and I've got it on my laptop now. The caption I saw on Google said, review Sludge Life 2, double dipping on a formula that simply isn't enjoyable, makes Sludge Life 2 even more unlikable than its already dull predecessor. Which sounds good, doesn't it? So I read that review because I was intrigued as to just why this person didn't seem to like Sludge Life 2 at all. So it's a review on Way Too Many Games, which I think is like a known games review website or something. I don't know. I don't really care. But I'm going to read the review. If you know Sludge Life, then you'll hear this and think it's funny. If you don't know Sludge Life, I'll explain in detail. So strap in. Okay, so I'm now going to read the review of Sludge Life 2. Quote, I didn't like the original Sludge Life, which I considered to be a dull and try-hardish platformer adventure hybrid with zero charisma and an underwhelming gameplay loop. It had two positive aspects though. It was indeed unique, parentheses, for better or for worse, and it was free. Or at least it was free at first due to a deal between Devolver Digital and Epic Games Store. Sludge Life 2, a sequel I can safely assume nobody has ever asked for, doesn't have these things going for it. It's not free and it's not unique. In fact, it's the same damn thing as its predecessor, and that makes it even less appealing. Then there's a screenshot of a receptionist in the hotel in the game of Sludge Life 2, and she's saying, so I'll just assume you speak rap and know what all that means. And then the caption from the reviewer underneath says, "Of course, I'm totes down with the youths." See, he's being sarcastic. Back to the review. We are back to the gritty, VHS filtered world of Sludge Life, a place full of unsympathetic characters smoking their lungs out, where everything either revolves around cigarettes, graffiti, rap songs about graffiti, graffiti about cigarettes, and so on. I once again struggled to feel any sort of attachment or interest towards the setting featured in Sludge Life 2. It's still a confusing, poorly designed pseudo sandbox full of things to tag and characters to interact with. The gameplay remains the same. It says it's inspired by parkour, but it feels more like just mere floaty platforming. Getting to higher places doesn't feel challenging, nor is it rewarding. On occasion, you will get a power-up of sorts, which will allow you to interact with other characters or get to more places, but again, it just doesn't feel fun. To make matters worse, it's mostly the same stuff featured in the original game. That's what annoyed me the most about Sludge Life 2. It's the same damn thing, again, but in a new map. The original game was not devoid of issues, but absolutely nothing got a revamp or a fix. The camera is still extremely sensitive, the platforming is monstrously floaty, the characters look hideous to look at, which is really poorly worded. The characters look hideous to look at. And he's a professional writer, I guess? Pfft, idiot. The dialogue is weak and the progression feels pointless. Well, I could say that the one new innovation seen in this sequel is the overabundance of cigarettes and smoking propaganda. Thankfully, it's all ironic, or at least I hope it is. It's just tiresome regardless. We're in 2023 and Thank You for Smoking has been out for 18 years. Smoking sucks and it always sucked. We know that already. That's nothing new. Once again, pardon me for sounding like a scratched record, but the sound design is also identical to the one featured in the original Sludge Life. Well, I suppose there's a bit less music, but the punchy sound effects are still present. Look, I'm just trying to come up with something else to say in this review that isn't just, well, this is the same as how it was in the original. I guess I could say that Sludge Life 2 felt a bit glitchier, ? It did freeze on me a few times, and I don't remember having the same issue on the original, whilst running on vastly inferior hardware at that time. Yay? ? Then there's a screenshot from the game of a man sitting on the toilet, which I actually have a photo of. And the caption the reviewer put underneath is, "Hey guys, he's sitting on a toilet! Comedy!" See, he's being sarcastic again. He's witty, this guy. To continue, Sludge Life 2 is basically Sludge Life, just on a new map. Were the original a good game, or even a passable game, I'd understand its appeal, but that's not the case. The original Sludge Life was a dour and pointless adventure game, drowned in try-hard imagery and completely devoid of charisma, and the sequel is just that again. No fixes to visuals, controls, glitches, a dull gameplay loop, nothing. You are simply getting more of what you, don't, love. The end. And then some numbers, yada yada yada. Like, everyone has their opinions, that's fine. But does that not sound like it's written by the most boring person you've ever met? Like, the person who has to be the smartest in any room he's in, and everyone has to know that he doesn't like toilet humour. People being on the toilet is not funny, and cigarettes are not cool. Like, who the fuck wrote that review? That's like getting a child to review A Clockwork Orange. Like, I don't know. It's like getting an adult to review the Teletubbies. I don't know. It's like getting someone to review something that they have no business reviewing, because clearly he has a bias. He just doesn't care about it at all. Like, right. So the characters look ugly to look at. Terribly phrased sentence, but whatever. They're meant to. Like, I don't want to sound like a dickhead when I talk about they're meant to. The characters inhabit a polluted world where they walk on sludge, which is literally pollution from the in-game large corporation that owns all the sub-corporations. The air is full of smog. They all fucking drink and smoke, and they're just hanging out because they're just ugly people living in this world. And that the cigarettes fits into that. So he talks about how in the second game there's an overabundance of cigarettes and whatever. That fits completely because Siggy Sigs were a thing in the first game, but then the company of Siggy Sigs, again owned by the Glug Corporation at large, is using the now popular rapper Big Mud in order to sell cigarettes to children And so they've got him to do a show at their Siggy City Suites, which is like this sort of hotel complex they have, all sponsored by Siggy Sigs. So it's part of the game. It's literally part of the game that the cigarette company is taking rap music, turning it into a commodity to literally sell cigarettes to children, and the whole game is sort of based of the second game is based around that aspect. It's corporations taking counterculture and making a profit from it, which you are sort of a part of, but then depending on which ending you go for, you can subvert that and sort of not take the corporation down, but do something about it at least. There's a whole one of the three endings. The whole plot towards that ending is about infiltrating the corporation through various means, which you find out piece by piece throughout the game if you play it, whereby you enact an act of rebellion against this huge company. But to the reviewer, oh, there's just cigarettes everywhere and smoking's not cool. We know smoking's not cool. Why are there cigarettes everywhere? Why is there pee and poop and farts? That's not funny. Farts and poop aren't funny. I'm a grown man and I say farts aren't funny because I'm an adult and I don't find childish things like farts funny. You fucking boring idiot. Like, to have an opinion is fine. To say, like, I played this game, I didn't take anything from it, I didn't enjoy it, it's not really for me. But, you know, play it yourself and find out. That would be one thing. But to go into this saying it's try hard, the characters are ugly, it's unimpressive, it's uninteresting, and like to say it's basically the same but more is almost, again, like, this guy has just missed the point. He's the president and CEO of missedthepoint.com, obviously. Because Sludge Life 2 is almost a direct continuation from Sludge Life 1. It's not supposed to be huge and different. It takes place in a different area and it continues the story. Your character and the interactions you have with the characters around you are grown and they continue throughout Sludge Life 2. So it's not like, it's not supposed to be this different thing. It's supposed to be more of the same, but more. So yeah, I mean, I have other thoughts, but I won't get too deep into them. I just thought that was funny. That was the review my eyes fell upon, and it was that kind of review. And it's not just that it's from someone who clearly just doesn't like the game, and so he was just spending a review saying, I don't like the game, which is fine, you know, whatever. But it's the fact that he obviously didn't interact with it in a way that he'd take anything from it. Because the games, both of the games, have a huge sort of like pro-working class, anti-commodification, anti-establishment, anti-corporate, anti-capitalist message. Like, they're very pro-worker, anti-capitalist, pro-revolution, graffiti, subculture, that sort of thing. Which, if you take the time to actually soak it in, is interesting. It's important today. It's fun and funny in its own way. It's not the most hilarious game in the world, but it's fun and funny. And the characters look ugly because they're just people. They're not fucking... The characters aren't going to be all like Lara Croft and some handsome guy, the guy from The Witcher, Geralt or whatever the fuck his name is. And why would they be? They're just a fucking bunch of people living in a horrible... They live in shipping containers, literally in... fucking a word I've already used but I forgot. Not contamination. Pollution. They live in pollution in shipping containers, while, especially in the first game, the CEO within that has his penthouse suite and he's just chilling and he's fine. But all the actual human beings, they're on strike, they're living in squalor, and they're just surviving any way they can. But he looks at it, this reviewer looks at that and goes, oh, they're all just fucking ugly characters and the game's shit and it's a pointless waste of time. So that was my rant while I waited for this paint to dry. But I thought that review felt a little bit old man yells at cloud, you know. Just someone who has no interest in a culture yelling at that culture that he doesn't understand because he's not part of it. man. But then my rant was a little bit old man yells at cloud, so I guess we're just as bad as each other. Never mind. But the paint is dry enough. It's not perfectly dry, but no, it might be. So either way, it's dry enough to fucking paint some more paint on. So we've got the main stencil just about kind of sort of glued-ish, down-ish. We're gonna put this one on top, line up the cigarette here, and that should be fine, and leave a vaguely similar sized gap around the outside. And now that should then create our outline when we paint it in black. We just need to just pushing the glued bits down so they're down. This feels like it might come up. Hope it doesn't, but it should be fine. And then I just need to glue this bit. Where's my glue? I'll put it away. God damn it. It's a little siggy sig in his mouth. And that goes there. Looks just about lined up. And then we'll paint that. Right. Little test spray. Yeah, this cap's almost certainly just about blocked, but should do the job regardless. You might be able to see some of the red through the black paint, but that's whatever really. It's not too big of an issue. One more go over just to be double super safety sure. Oh, that's a bit heavy there. And that should be just fine. Well, that looks good on the camera, doesn't it? It looks wonderful. It looks burnt out. Give that a moment to... I'm trying to flap it dry. I might have gone a bit heavy on that, the black paint. I absolutely might have gone a bit heavy on the black paint. I'm really worried that it's going to fuck up. Fuck! Ah, fuck, I might have fucked this completely. But I might not have. Okay, right, let's... It's my knife. Let's see, let's do a quick little test. Oh, it looks good. I get a bit messy, but put that in the bin. I'll do the outer edge. This bit off. The reveal. This is what people stick around for, isn't it? Oh, that's actually really, really crisp. And then the finale. Let's see how this bit goes. Whoa. Whoa, fucking look at that. That is fucking smooth. I was so worried that I'd been too heavy on the black and then it would bleed under the edges, which it does sometimes. But that came out well nice. I'm so happy with that. Little bit on the side here, but fuck it. That's really fucking cool. Some smudges here, but everything I own's filthy, so that's all good. And that's a fucking Siggy shirt. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm actually so happy with that. And we did that from scratch, from start to finish, right here. You saw it all, from the beginning to the end. Nice Siggy Sig shirt. I'm so happy with that. I'll let my phone charge a bit after this. I'll see if I can take some pictures, and if there are pictures, I'll maybe make a little slideshow or something. I don't know. But so you can buy these shirts, like printed. The makers of the game made them available, so you like go to sludgelife.com probably. I don't know. Sludge Life. Google Sludge Life. Shop sludgelife.com, and you can buy merchandise. You can buy the zines that I printed off. No, you don't have to buy them. You can just see them. But yeah, go there and buy shirts or make them. That's the point. So literally, I got home, I jerked one out, and then grabbed a shirt out of my bag, sat down, and I painted on my shirt because I wanted a Siggy Sig shirt, and I can't afford to pay for them. As soon as I make my millions, believe me, as soon as I make my millions, I'm going to support every creator I possibly can in every possible way I possibly can. But until then, if you want a comic about a Viking with a gun, you make a comic about a Viking with a gun. If you want a shirt with a Siggy Sig logo on it, you can make a shirt with a Siggy Sig logo on it without child labour.
Straight off the pack, sludge high. No day, no night, sad boy high.